Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today, Mr. Magazine and I enjoyed Johnny Walker Red. And I do apologize last week. I forgot to tell you, we enjoyed, I believe it was Evan Williams Cherry. I believe last week we had Popeyes last week. Thank you very much, Popeyes. Got a lot of really good feedback, and he really is a good guy. We sat afterwards and talked for about an hour. And the real beauty of that is it made Mr. Magazine carry all of my mail out to his car by himself.
It made me leave really early.
So we're going to have guests on every week because I'm frail and don't want to carry things.
Okay. Well, first we got Popular Puddings in the House, #1. Marvelous Michaels, #2. Awesome Antiquarian. Marvelous Mr. Hot Wheels. Nice Nanette's here.
Oh, live for a change. First Wednesday of No Whatnot shows. Okay.
Triple J, how's it going? Super Steven. Tremendous Treasures is here. How you doing? And that's what we got going on right now.
All righty. Now, I know Mr. Magazine doesn't like to complain, but how are sales, Mr. Magazine?
Well, let's see. Hold on. Forever Fun Lovin's in the house.
Hello.
Awesome Adrian's in the house.
You
awesome
cut that short.
Hello.
Hello.
Awesome Amazon's here. Delightful Dawn is here, and she already know that. And say it again. Say it
Hello.
again. Right. You've never had laryngitis in your life. Surprising.
If you work the muscles,
lovely
if you
Lewis, here you go.
If you work the muscles, you don't have problems.
Morning. All right. I wish it was morning. I'm tired right now, but I did have an energy drink in my kid's game, so I should not fall asleep. And I started taking energy drinks. I don't like to take them very often. I only take energy drinks if I have to drive long distances. I feel it's safer for me to be alert. And when I get massages, I have a tendency of falling asleep, and I really don't want to fall asleep. I'm paying money. I want to enjoy it. So now I take an energy drink before my massage.
You know what they say, Mr. Magazine?
No.
Be alert. The world needs more alerts.
Okay. JC Jeff, how you doing?
They do say that.
Oh, Popular Popeyes is here.
I don't think it's possible, Popeyes. I don't believe it's possible.
That is a very tough one. Yep, I agree.
So everybody out there, let us know how your sales are, as Mr. Magazine will not complain.
Oh, Mercury Morris. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No, I'm Paper Guy.
I'm hovering. I haven't lost much weight. I'm still at the 90, 92 pound range, but I'm eating a little more food and I'm cutting down a little more cardio. I fear a little too much for me, so we'll see how that plays out. But right now, I am doing a 25-hour fasting of only liquid and 100% natural fruit juice because my kid's got a prom tomorrow, and there's a lot of eating and a lot of partying going on, so I want to drop a little bit of weight so I can have some fun. But then again, if I'm starving myself, I'm going to really be in trouble with the alcohol. But hopefully, if we can all convince Paperboy to join me at the bar tomorrow night, that would be fun.
Sales have been steady. Sales are stinko.
All right, so STs have it, steady and stinko.
Steady stinko.
Roger Rogers in the house.
Sales eBay equals bad. Whatnot equals good.
Sales for me.
Well, hold on, that's an equation. Sales eBay equals bad minus whatnot.
Yeah. Mine's sales eBay equals horrendously crappy the last 5 days.
Horrendously crappy.
Whatnot is better for me at 0. I'm not losing money. Where I think eBay, when I'm selling when I'm normally used to selling 2,000 to 3,000 a day, and now I'm selling 500. Ooh. After they take the fees out, I'm pretty much losing money for the day.
Well, with your employees,
yeah. So Whatnot. 0
is saving you money.
It's saving me money. All right.
Yesterday and today's slow. Pretty good over the weekend and Monday. Okay.
Not bad.
The stinko here too.
Stinkos have it. Yeah, the stinkos.
A lot of stinko.
Slowish. A lot of S's. ST, SL. But how about Paperboy?
Oh, I'm
in his retirement. We got to expect big numbers because you have nothing but time to list good stuff now.
More people are coming in the chat. Why don't you say
Popular Periwinkle is here.
Hello.
What's Nanette got to say?
About 55 cuckoo clocks, and first one sold in less than 2 hours. Paid for half a lot.
Wow, cuckoo clocks.
Wow. They're cuckoo for cuckoo clocks.
Yeah.
So I don't know if some people know this. I was not around this weekend. I went to Springfield, Ohio, to the Springfield Antique Extravaganza. And there'll be some videos coming up from that. Met Don, the auction professor over there. So there's going to be a nice interview with him, as well as a nice haul video. Why do I tell you that when I'm talking about sales? Well, first, I ramble. But second, because I was not around to make offers to buyers. I'm certain there's a way to do it on the app. However, A, I'm not good on the app. B, the app is absolutely horrendous for sellers like you and me that have a lot of items.
Yeah.
It's more geared to people that have 50 items, 75 items. I've got almost 24,000 items now. I can't get anything to load right in there.
Yeah.
I can check the messages, and that's about all that I can do on there.
Sure.
I'm sure there's a way I can send offers. I just have never bothered to try. Really hurt me, and you'll see that when I read the offers numbers as well. So my sales are not that great on eBay. They're really slow today and weren't that great yesterday either. Amazon is holding steady. It still says I have 8% buy box, which is amazing.
I'll take 3 though.
Yeah. 8% is amazing on that. So that's kind of crazy.
I don't know how you pulled that off, but good for you.
Yeah. Do you still need printer paper?
I can always use printer paper. We probably go through a case of printer paper every 3 weeks, maybe. Okay. So yeah, we can buy 10 cases. It'll save us. If we're saving money, sure, I'm all for that.
Rambling is good for your mental health, both talking with someone and driving somewhere. There you go. Well, then I must have very good mental health.
Poor Mrs. Paperboy.
Yeah, hers are not. Her mental health's not nearly as good.
Poor Mrs. Paperboy.
Sales are up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
It's like you're running an elevator there.
Yeah.
Sure, blame the app. There you go. Of course, a little late, but here.
Oh, Marvelous, moving on. How you doing? Good evening.
And then one of our subscribers said it was the worst day ever on eBay. He did $45 in a day with 10,000 items listed.
Well, like I said, I think we had one day that was about 500 to 600 with 200,000 items. And I don't know how far many years back we got to go to have a sale like the day like that. It's got to be 10 years. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Promoted 17 out of 46. And offers. See, and here's where you can tell. I had 78 old, 169 total offers. I had 204 last week. Well, I was gone for the weekend. So I sent no offers out Thursday afternoon, none Friday, none Saturday, none Sunday morning. So I lost essentially 3 days of offers.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there were a lot when I got back, but not as many as had I been able to send out all the way through.
Right.
One postcard out of 11,000. Oh, that's brutal.
Now, if the postcard was $11,000, I think you'd be okay.
Well, then again, I've sold 3 items or four items today out of 24,000, so I'm not much above that. Not much above that.
I'm selling 40 out of 200,000, and I have up to 38% off. I mean, that's crazy.
Wow, $72 in eBay with 17,000.
Yeah, they are just headed down. It's a downward spiral.
So a lot of people are doing poor right now.
What's weird though is, I mean, I'll have days where we have.
I've done about 72 today.
I'm going to call it a good eBay day, which really is not a good day for me. But if I can do 1,500, I'm happy, which is still 50% off what I was a year and a half ago. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I've done about 72 today with 24,000.
For me, the weekend seemed to be the worst of the worst of them.
Yeah. And sold one item on million.dollar.peddlers. So it's just all across all of eBay for me. And I've only sold one item on Etsy, but Etsy usually is pretty poor this time of year. So it looked back the last 3 or 4 years that I've been selling on there, and it's just a bad time of year for it. How about buys? Anybody out there now with nobody getting any money, and I'm sure nobody's buying anything? Take it away, Mr. Magazine.
I think that's why I'm broke. I'm still buying. I have lots of deals all over the country. I got people calling me, selling their, magazines, movies, and so forth. Aaron's going to Texas next week to pick up, now 10 to 15,000 DVDs. But I do have, local guys coming in. I've been buying a lot of Funkos lately from one guy. Another guy just sold me like 100 of the newer G.I. Joes that are box unopened stuff. So, I'm taking advantage of that because I know those will sell on Amazon. But I'm not spending a lot of money, on the local stuff coming through the door. I'm getting real selective. However, a guy did come into a deal with them every now and then. He had like old Tonkas and like advertising nylons from the 60s and 70s. But what he did have was the tin Japanese Batman and Robin Batmobile, the blue one, like the royal blue. It was missing like a little battery compartment, the thing that locks the battery. But, I paid him $50. It's worth like 100 just for that. And I bought everything for 150. So I like deals like that because I get to keep something cool for my collection and then I get to make money and everything else. So
that is very cool.
Yeah, I'll have to show you that. And then one of the coolest things I did get this week, Paperboy brought it in. It was a what was it?
Oh yeah, it's in the Allentown Hall video. It's a program.
And I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
So it's a program. But was it like on ice or what was it?
It was a dancing program.
Program, but it had like Wonder Woman, Batman, and Robin. People dressed as them in costume, and they signed it Wonder Woman, Batman, and Robin, which is funny because when I was little, I went to some of those like where did they have those
Disney on Ice type deals?
Like, and then they signed it the same way in my autograph book. But I just thought it was super cool and very hard to find, I'm sure, at this point.
Oh yeah, it was very, very cool. And then it had coloring book parts in it too.
Awesome.
As well.
Yeah, I mean it's probably a $50 piece on eBay, but I'm certainly keeping it in my collection.
Very
All
cool.
right, we got Jackass Retros in the house. Made it in finally. How you doing?
300 and an antique store that's closing. 87-year-old landlord wants to sell the building. So 80-year-old antique dealer is liquidating and moving to Etsy and eBay. Wow. Wow. And if that 80-year-old dealer is moving there, most of us have no excuse for not, not doing things.
It's so true. Wow. Yeah.
Whoa.
Holy cow.
27,736 listings, 2265 yesterday, 1388. And I will say today's whatnot was okay. Yesterday's was very good. It was a very good whatnot for me. So I'm very happy with where the whatnot sales are as well. And I'm sure you can all come by tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern to see the books and see what sells.
Nice.
No buys over here. Skipped yard sales last weekend, going to our own townwide this weekend, but last year was a bust. So we shall see.
You should join Don out there. Go to the townwide. Why not? What do you got to do? You're retired.
That's true.
Don, send him the info.
There you go.
Get him out of Rochester.
Do I have my passport though?
After tomorrow night.
Between whatnot and locally, I spent way too much, but people are discounting heavily if you have the means to buy up. Interesting.
Cool, yeah. Super Steve, how you doing?
Bought a white chocolate raspberry cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory today.
That's a good buy.
Be right back. Hey, you know something? You may have
That's a really good buy. Yeah. I'm starving myself right now.
Yeah, right. It's a really good buy. You're teasing Mr. Magazine there. Whatnot has created an ephemera category now. You know something that's funny? It was going to be something or other I was going to be mentioning in the changes. Yep. Check your business policies. eBay has created a new return policy for me and moved 3/4 of my listings. I moved them back. Sales always stink for a few days when this happens. I'll have to do that then. Yeah, that could be an explanation. I went to an estate sale Thursday, and there was a line, and I just walked away and left. And that's the problem with going to the estate sales. Well, because we had to go to Springfield, so I didn't have a lot of time. Right. It was just one of those. I dropped the mail off at your store. I said, "Oh, let me go to the sale because it's fairly close to your store." A line out the door. I said, nope, I don't have time to sit there and wait in the line. And it wasn't like, it looked like there was great stuff anyway. It looked like it could have been okay stuff. Yeah. But I said, A, I'm going off to a big antique extravaganza. I probably don't need to worry about this flea market or this one estate sale. Sure. But B, when I used to go in the middle of the day, I almost never got lines. Now that I'm going earlier, you get lines sometimes. So then I went to Springfield. It was horrible on Friday. Second worst day of sourcing I've ever had. Rain galore, just terrible. And they've got about 3 buildings there. When everybody decides to go in the building and everybody has their carts and wagons, you can imagine the tempers flaring in that place. You loved it. I was.
Now, what do you carry with you? One of those little grocery carts?
No, I've got actually I showed it in a video. I got it last year at Madison Boxville for free. It is a bag that fits over your shoulder, but it also has wheels on it. It's a very, very cool bag that I can carry around. I put a lot of stuff in it, and I do have a cart in the car, but I didn't want to bring it out with the rain because it gets stuck in the mud.
You should get like a Yoda plush and put it back there too.
I should. I don't know why I don't. Happy Memorial Day. People are going this weekend. Wilson, pick yourself another band hammer. That is true. Yep. Local Mike and I, assuming it's not monsoon weather, will be going up to Wilson, New York.
Yes, we bag every magazine we ship out, and we put cardboard backing in there. And then we still have customers that get mad that we're not putting regular backers in there. So I guess they prefer a thin white backer instead of a thick cardboard backer. But, can't make everyone happy.
Well, it's because they don't want to have to buy their own. Exactly. That's what it comes down to.
Well, and then on the adult stuff, we put a sticker with a, Mr. Magazine adult website. And one guy got mad because he wants to keep his magazines in the sleeves, and he doesn't want that sticker on it. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm running 7-day auctions almost daily, selling about 10% at auction, another 5% delisted at fixed price within a few days. Auction that don't sell, I schedule for fixed for the next morning.
That sounds like a good percent, no?
Yeah, that's a very good percent. Yeah. Very happy with. I would be very happy. Lines when they open, always a choice: be there early and fight others, or come in later, picked over. I usually come in later for a picked over. However, again, it opened at 9, and I think I got there at 10, and there was still a line. And I said, nope, can't do this. Can't do this. Tomorrow there's one I want to go to, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it or not.
Why?
I got a meeting at the bank at 11, so they open at 8:30. Try to get there about 10 and hope there's no line. If there's a line, I'm not going to wait around for it. But it's up and around Decoit, so it doesn't matter one way or the other. But yeah, so you'll be seeing some videos coming up, haul video and all that coming out of Springfield. Was a lot of fun. Glitch of the week. I relisted. Okay, so I had an item that sold.
Okay.
But I had 2. So I relisted it.
Yeah.
But I decided to relist it at auction instead of buy it now.
Okay.
So I had to change the price, to auction. Had to change it to auction, put the price in.
Yeah.
Took out the buy it now price.
Right.
Went to list it. Your buy it now price isn't high enough. I'm like, there's no buy it now price. What are you talking about? It refilled that back in. So then I had to go and delete that in order to, I go, really? Why are you filling something back in after I delete it?
Should be easy process.
It really should be. Then I had it where for 2 days, I had to log into eBay twice every time. I logged in and then I go to the page and it said sign in. I go, I just logged in. And it happened, the first time I go, oh, maybe I didn't click all the way through.
Yeah.
By the third time, I'm like, no, this is a glitch on their part because I know that I'm logging in. I know for sure that I am. Was listing some stuff over on Amazon, and immediately after listing it, I got an email that it's been deactivated for a high price. Like immediately.
What kills me about this thing that they do with the high price. Other people's prices are higher and they're able to keep it on there. Or if you lower it and they still nope, it's too high. Nope, it's too high.
Yep, that's kind of crazy. And then yesterday, there was a problem over on Whatnot where people couldn't pre-bid, which kind of hurts a little bit because, again, not everybody can always make the auction. And then I was trying to do multicasting. Turns out I cannot multicast because I am poor and have an Android. So that's only available to rich people like Mr. Magazine who have an iPhone.
Oh, I thought you were fishing, casting for fishing.
Yes, with the background, we could be.
That is true.
Site changes. According to e-commerce bites, eBay is sending out a whole bunch of emails out to people suggesting they do auctions. So eBay seems to be heading back toward suggesting that people do auctions, whereas for about the last 10 years, they've been trying to be the buy it now store. So I don't know
what they want really, but it's good for us, I guess. They don't have to give us the email.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting on that. Next month's goal is to get a PC and try 6-bit as a listing service, hoping it will improve my listing speed. Currently I have must be a 4-year-older MacBook. Yeah. Apparently Venmo can now be used to make payments on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah,
I hate Venmo. I got scammed one time. Screwed.
There you go.
$200.
And I'm sure you're excited to know this, Mr. Magazine. As of June 25th, Etsy's old listing form will be expiring. You can no longer use it.
Sorry.
Item of the week this week. Everybody loves Mary Tyler Moore. And this is the kind of thing. And the reason why I ended up getting this book is I bought out an estate sale a while ago, and this was in there. Now, all the scanners came through, and it's a $1.99 book, whatever. So they're obviously not going to buy it. However, neat thing about this is,
let me guess, she signed it.
It's autographed by Mary Tyler Moore. Right,
they don't
in
even
there.
look in the book. These people.
No, absolutely not. Nope, they just
What did
scan
you
it.
pay for it?
I could have gotten it for $1. Yeah,
but it was like gotta be $50, right? At least.
Yeah, with her signature.
Yeah.
So that is again where when you're going around to various sales, I always look at the sports books and the celebrity books because those tend to be the ones, and the local history books because those tend to be the 3 things that are autographed. And you can pick a book like this off in there for $1 to get a Mary Tyler Moore signature.
I'll buy that for $1.
Make it 2 and it's yours. But yeah,
no COA.
Exactly. Thank you. But yeah, so always do take a look when you're at the sales for those kind of books, because again, that every scanner in the world is going to pass by. If they even pick it up, they're going to pass right by it. And $50 book just sitting there because you happen to pick it up.
Nice.
So very nice. Yes. Insulting offer of the week. Mr. Magazine had a Ken Schrader 164 Racing Champions car is asking $16. Got offered $1.
Crazy.
That really is crazy.
Crazy.
Etsy was in the news a lot. The sales on the site have been sucking big time. Changes coming. There you go. Batman Justice League 2002 figure on card, $12. You got offered $1. Apparently, you had a lot of guys who watched the old RoboCop movie. I'll buy that for $1.
Well, I've been into a lot of dollar stores because I buy laundry for my vending machine.
Laundry detergent.
Yeah. And I never see those things for $1 in there. It's odd.
I'll buy that for $1. Everybody must dig AC/DC because he's back in black. There you go. Nice. Yeah. You know, growing up, I thought, you know the song Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap?
No, sing it for me. I'd never heard of it.
I always thought it was Dirty Deeds and the Thunder Chief. I always thought it was Thunder Chief. Yeah, that's what I always thought they were saying. National Songs of America sheet music, free shipping, $18.98. It's a newspaper supplement, so it is a rare piece of sheet music. I was asking $38 free shipping, got a $10 offer on it. Yeah, so I could basically make about $2 when everything was said and done.
Nice.
Customer issues. Mr. Magazine did not get the negative removed for
I'm sorry, it did came through. I emailed it to you.
That was a different one.
Oh, my bad. Keep talking.
He did not get the one removed for the 148 scale that he sold that the guy said he wanted a 132 scale, which again, absolutely insane. His listing said 148. The guy said he got a 148 and then complained it wasn't 132.
How do they let that feedback stay up there? That's just crazy to me.
Didn't meet the criteria to be taken down. Yep. $4 in estate sale, sold it for $50. Nice. That's a good deal. Yeah. However, Mr. Magazine did get a negative taken down because the guy said he never got the item, but tracking showed that he did. So that they will take down.
Good.
I got somebody making a return, and then this actually got you a ban hammer. The reason for the return is didn't arrive in time. Now I shipped it out timely.
Yeah.
They never told me anything at all about, you know, oh, I need it by such and such a date. Can you make sure it gets here? Nothing whatsoever. I mailed it out. It, you know, it wasn't delayed at all.
Sure.
It just, they ordered late and it got there when it was supposed to get there and didn't arrive in time. So they're returning it. You know, reach out to people. A, shop earlier.
Yeah.
But B, reach out to people. We can work with you before it gets there. A guy could have shipped it out priority and then it should have gotten there on time. Crazy. So I was selling a Dennis the Menace comic. He was squirting somebody in the face with a squirt gun, as Dennis the Menace would do. A potential buyer reached out to me. What's the name of the kid on the cover getting squirted? Because it's not Joey. I don't know.
So it's not Dennis the Menace, and it's not
Dennis
Joey.
is doing the shooting, and it's not Joey. It's just some generic kid that they drew on the cover. I'm like, I don't know.
You just said like Melvin.
Melvin, exactly. As a little postcard at auction for $78 started at 10 was a college baseball game from 1905. Wasn't even a real photo, was printed. Oh, that's a nice sale.
Nice, yeah.
Real nice sale on that. I just pulled a first print Clan of the Cave Bear out of a little library on my walk. Nice. Cannot argue with that at all. Guy trying to sell stuff to Mr. Magazine. And I will admit, it is decent stuff. It's not as good stuff as he thinks that it is, because in his email to Mr. Magazine listing what the stuff is, everything is mint and rare. It is good stuff. I'm not going to downplay the stuff. It is good stuff. So Mr. Magazine said, what do you want? And the guy responded back, nope. Your dad tried that one on me years ago too. LOL. You make me an offer. We go from there.
So this gentleman's name sounded very familiar. So I pulled up the name search in Gmail. Had the same problem with him a few years ago. He sold me a bunch. They were rare magazines or rarer magazines. And, you know, I ended up paying more than I wanted to. And it ended up not being a really good deal. So I think I'm going to stay away from this guy. Let him get angry, because whatever I offer him, you know, I don't know how many magazines he have. He's only selling
63.
ones. So he's probably going to want like between $500 and $1,000.
Yep. I said if you offered $1,000, he would be insulted.
Right. Yeah. But I looked at the emails in the past for the last deal. You know, it was those same type of, you know,
they're not bad magazines.
Dig magazines. So, you know,
not bad.
Yeah, right. But again, he thinks they're mint and they weren't mint. And then he thinks they're rare and they're not as rare. And it's just not even, I don't need to buy that stuff right now and spend that kind of money. So I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to pass. And then he'll get mad and make some rude comment again, because he got rude in the last email.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll show you Monday if you remember.
That's funny. Hey, Hey, can't argue with that.
Yep.
It's free 10 to 15 bucks.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was told, Mr. Magazine. I said I'd walk away from it. You just sometimes you don't need the deal.
Exactly.
When you get down to it, I mean, if you wanted 250 on it, probably I would bite at that, but it's still a little more than I'd want to pay.
He would get mad at me. And realistically, I really have a million magazines between what's listed and not listed. I don't need to buy those. And when I tell them that, like, I don't need to make an offer on your magazines because one, you want too much. Two, I really don't need them. And he's going to get mad. So just if you want to sell to me, you're going to come up with a price. We go from there. It's that simple.
Yep. Mr. Magazine had a guy moved, but he wanted the shipment sent to the new address. Well, it was already in the mail.
Yeah. He said, can it be address be changed in transit?
Which I suppose there are ways to do it, but then you don't have any protection from eBay. That's the big problem.
I don't even know. Super Shane.
Bunch of eBay.
The comics. Some may be on Amazon.
The majority are on Amazon.
As long as the titles and cover don't look too bad. But yeah, I would definitely not put them on eBay. Other than that, you'd have to go on maybe Craigslist.
Yeah.
You can't sell them on Facebook either.
I would Amazon those.
Yeah.
Definitely. So somebody or other, now I found this feedback for somebody else on something that I was shopping for. Worst seller I've ever dealt with. 2 different orders for a pan set, and they messed them both up big time. One order went to someone else on my dime, and the other was a day away in shipping, and they canceled it. Still waiting for a refund on this one. They put the refund instead on a set that's almost here. Absolutely ridiculous. Going back to eBay authorities to get this resolved. Neither set has arrived.
Now, did you check did he have more negatives or just that one guy he had trouble with?
He had one guy he had trouble. He's a big seller, so he's going to have problems with people. But I was laughing. I'm like thinking to myself, if the one's a day away in shipping and you get it, what difference does it make which one he canceled?
Right. Exactly.
You got your money back and the item. You're set good. Why jump the gun and leave a negative? Let it play out.
Exactly. People are very anxious.
eBay's been on fire for me. I had a single day this week with 18 postcards for over $700. Auctions have all of a sudden picked up for me over fixed price listings. That may go back to what I had said earlier from e-commerce bites. eBay is pushing auctions. Maybe they're giving auctions more
exposure.
More exposure. Oh, nice. Look at you. Couple of other things. I know we all saw that Red Lobster went bankrupt.
Oh, really? Well, I haven't been there in years. That's probably why. I certainly haven't been there in the last 5 or 6 months.
They buy 20% of all North American lobster tails.
So are they shutting down their stores or just going bankrupt? Because there's one right up the road from me.
That one's still staying open. The one in Henrietta closed. 20% of all North American lobster tails are sold to them.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is crazy, isn't it?
They still can't do it. No, they got to pay their employees in New York State crazy.
That is
$20 an hour.
You can tell by the way I move. Did you see that the Saturday Night Fever floor is up for auction?
Wow. Now, where is that being stored? Who owns that?
It's at some Hollywood Treasures or something like that auction. Okay. They're expecting it to go for $300,000.
That's pretty cool, though. Does it still work and light up?
That I don't know, but
imagine that. Fix that if it doesn't.
Imagine that in your basement.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
That would be very, very cool.
I'd much rather have like the Death Star floor, but I don't want to be greedy.
Or you have the Max Rebo band playing in your basement.
Yeah.
A handgun carried into the Battle of Little Bighorn by a U.S. cavalry officer is at a firearms auction in Texas. It was Captain Miles Mullins. They expect $120,000 for that. That's crazy. But Battle of Little Bighorn, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
That's history.
I mean, just having the proof in Providence, that's amazing, all these years.
Well, like you always say, would you rather have that gun or a one of
the gun? Yeah, I don't care what one of one. Yep. Mickey Mantle rookie, it's a different story, but any one of one Wemby's, Tom Brady's, anybody, it just doesn't do anything for me. So we talked a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Magazine, and you were pretty darn close when you said 1 billion books are published every year, sold every year. In America, how many garments are produced annually? 10 billion. 100 billion garments. Yeah, I figured there's 6-8 billion people. Even one is 6-8 billion a year. And 60% end up in the trash a few years later. I know my wife buys a lot more than one garment a year.
60% up in the trash within a few years.
Speaking of garments, I've gone through all my old clothes that fit me from years ago and all my recent clothes that are way bigger than now. And we are starting to sell them on eBay, Under Armour and some polo stuff.
I was wondering why you're rocking the IZOD and the members only. They sell General Sherman's sword for
members only. You got that right.
Red Lobster and Olive Garden started here as a small local restaurant with the owners selling fish sandwiches out at the railroad. Wow. Jeez. You may have to go back to that. Sold 7 of my 65 auctions that ended last Sunday. Scheduled the unsold to get listed over a few hours starting Monday to $291 on Monday. eBay liked all that activity.
Selling postcards? It seems to be the hot commodity.
That is true.
Anything with cards in it, sports cards and postcards, anything that's cards.
Did you see, Mr. Magazine? There's an extinct bird in New Zealand called Huia hua bird.
Okay.
They just sold a feather. Now, it's been extinct since the early 1900s. They just sold a feather, $28,400 for a feather.
Wait, it's extinct, so there's none available. It's like a dinosaur.
Well,
but a feather's $28,000.
$28,000 for a feather.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, I guess if I'm a millionaire and I have a feather pen and I replace it with that feather, like that's kind of cool. Like, say you got a $500 feather, I'll throw that out, put the $28,000 feather on your feather pen.
Or you could get a whole bunch of them and make yourself fly.
Yeah, okay. Game use undies.
Oh,
I don't play many more games anymore, but I'm sure there's a few old ones floating around somewhere.
So I want your opinion on this, Mr. Magazine.
Yep.
Art recognition AI was used on eBay. It found 40 alleged fakes, including a $165,000 Renoir and a $599,000 Monet. It looks at the brush strokes, where the items are placed on it, and compares to their paintings and says, this is real, this is probably not real.
Right.
What is your opinion on that?
So here's where I do have an opinion, and I'm going to tell you what it is.
That's why I'm
going to compare this to something in my line of work, autographed items.
What do you want to bet? He says exactly what's on my paper. Go ahead.
Well, the problem with autograph stuff, we've been selling autographs for 40 years almost, since I was 10 years old. And you buy collections here and there, and you get stuff that looks real over, trickled in. So I'm sure there's some percentage of the tens of thousands of autographs we bought over the years and thousands that we got signed in person that there are some fakes. And, the good thing is when they get them authenticated, they don't say they're fake. They just say, these third-party companies just say, we don't feel, there has this is slightly wrong, that's slightly wrong, whatever. But the problem is if something was really fake and I sold it 20 years ago, or my dad sold it 20 years ago, he passed away, and they bring it to me now, it's really hard to even prove where I got that from and when I got it.
Or if it's the same one.
So, you'd have to have some type of receipt or provenance dating back for whenever that was. So, the person that owns it right now may not really be responsible. They just may be not educated enough to know the difference. And it's probably a very good fake where 90 out of 100 people may know it's a fake, but then you get those 10 professionals all over the world who say, hey, yes, this is a fake. So I think it's really hard to, you don't want to arrest that person. Like you said, it's someone else years ago that did a fake, and it got sold here, got sold there along the line, and it's hard to prove.
Well, here's my opinion. Do you remember the Muhammad Ali autograph you have with a mustache?
Yes.
Basically, it was the end of a day. Muhammad Ali was having health problems. Mr. Magazine got an item signed, and he signed right here, and it literally looked like that. It was literally a line.
I think we got a bunch signed, but they got worse as the day went on. So, if we were the 300th autograph, it looked okay. Then you get to the 350, the 405, and then at that point, it's just like, Hitler's mustache.
Yeah. And as well as I do, if he's sitting at a show signing an 8x10, any athlete,
right,
versus he's running through the airport and you give him a golf ball to sign.
Yeah.
Those signatures are going to look totally different.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the AI, and Antiquarian there says you can't necessarily trust it.
Right.
What if the artist was, look up Salvador Dali. He did realism before he did the surreal paintings. You've got painters that maybe he's trying something different. So it really is a Monet, but it's not a regular Monet because it was something experimental he had, something different. That doesn't mean it's not a Monet.
Yeah.
It really is a Monet.
Right.
Now, obviously, if you could prove that, and I don't know when Monet was alive, but you can prove he died in 1920 and the pigments from his paint in 1960. Yes, that's a fake.
Right.
There's no doubt all about it. Almost like the people that try to sell the autographs on the balls that were put out after the guy died.
Right.
Yeah, that's a fake.
Right.
You know, in fact, I just made a joke in Mr. Magazine. He finally brought over the Paul Caro newspapers, and there was a Mickey Mantle New York Post from the day Mickey Mantle died. And Mr. Magazine said, I got 3 of them. I go, yeah, but are yours autographed? Obviously, if you have a death paper from somebody autographed,
right,
it's a fake.
Well, I got a funny story about that real quick. So that mailman came in to sell me something, and it was a Greer Johnson Mickey Mantle auction catalog for stuff that he had when he died. And on the cover, he signed it, and it says it's numbered. I go, there's no way he signed this. He was dead. So this person bought it for like $150 from a famous Mickey Mantle seller, and he actually called him up, and he had the guy call me. What they did was, for some reason, they had Mantle sign a bunch of stickers.
Oh,
and then they put that sticker on these. So maybe it was meant for something else. And they're like, "Oh, this is perfect. We got these."
That's funny.
But I'm trying to tell them, like, there's no way.
That's funny.
And again, I don't trust these AIs. I don't know nothing about artwork, but there could always be a chance that an AI could make a mistake.
Yes, too. Absolutely.
What I don't like is athletes get paid to sign a lot of times.
Okay.
So they do take more pride in their signature. So I can understand where Mickey Mantle.
Say it to Tom Brady's face.
Well, he get paid a lot of money, that guy. But my point is, they want neat signatures because they're getting paid money. Celebrities, on the other hand, do not care. They make 20 to 50 million a movie. They're billionaires, most of them, and they don't care what their signature looks like. So when there's a company, I don't know if I can mention their name, that I've used before to certify autographs, and every celebrity one I have, they don't trust it at all. But then if you compare them online, they look almost identical. But again, celebrity, you're catching George Clooney coming out of a restaurant. It's not going to be the same as if George Clooney sitting down at this show like an athlete would be, and everyone's identical. So, I feel that a lot of my autograph stuff that celebrities is authentic because I do compare them to certified ones online. All right.
Hey,
how's it going?
Mike, what's up?
Marvelous Mike's here.
I respect our robot AI overlords and would never disparage them. Just wanted to make that crystal. You and me both, John. You and me both on that. That's funny.
Mike's got a question for you.
My black shirt. My eBay sales.
Whose fault is that?
So I'm gonna another question for you, Mr. Magazine.
Okay.
Back in the heyday of cassette tapes, 450 million cassettes were sold. A few years ago, 81,000 were sold new.
Wow, okay.
How many were sold last year?
So a year ago, 81,000?
No, 2019, 81,000 were sold.
God, I feel like it's going to be more now. 120,000.
436,000 cassettes, 5 times as many. Cassettes are making a comeback. So if you are out there, actually Gen Z is buying cassettes because they want something physical to hold in their hands. Mm-hmm. But cassettes are cheaper than a lot of the other things out there.
Yeah.
So cassettes are making a comeback. So if you are a reseller and you get a chance to buy some cassettes, they are making a comeback now.
I'll buy them if they're sealed.
Yeah. There you go. You're a skeleton.
I'm a skeleton. Yeah, I think I spoke last week on it. My wife hugged me and she said I'm all bony and skinny and frail and my arms are small. So then I did a video of myself working out in a tank top to prove her wrong.
Put on a JFK authenticity. Yeah. Mr. Magazine, are you familiar with the 1945 Time magazine with Adolf Hitler with the big X across his face? You've seen it.
I've seen it. I've never had one, I don't think.
Okay. You can go on. The cheapest one listed right now on eBay is $350.
And you can sell them on there.
Yes.
Okay.
They generally go for $250 to $500 on eBay if you see one.
Okay. Heritage
had a CGC 4.0 of that. So 4.0 cream to off-white pages.
Yep.
What did that go for, Mr. Magazine? And I'm going to cover the price up, but anybody that doesn't know it, that is the issue. Very famous issue.
$1,000.
$150.
Ooh, brutal.
They took
holy cow
beating getting that.
Have you ever had one?
No.
So I mean, but people are keeping them for sentimental value? Like, why have we bought? You just said Time.
Yeah.
we bought how many times over the last
I've never
30
seen.
years?
I've never seen one in the wild.
I mean, the
that
earlier
isn't.
ones are tougher to find, but still, I mean,
Hold on. What did he say?
Sorry.
Bought a Dali autograph print for $1,200. There was a scandal with the original art dealer pushing fakes. Yeah, there's Dali also would limited edition things, if I remember right, to 100, and then do 2 versions of 100 and not tell anybody type deal. So I think rumor was he was involved a little bit in it too, a little shadiness, but I don't know for sure. Please don't sue me, Salvador Dali's estate. Exactly. The auction company didn't realize and waived the item so they didn't get screwed. Yep. Cool. I look like the big guy. Nice.
Enough about his cheeks.
Wow. A few other things going on. So apparently with Red Lobster having gone bankrupt, they were doing auctions with contents of restaurant.
Wow.
And I went on Reddit flipping, and somebody was saying that they bought the contents of the restaurant, show up there, and half the stuff wasn't there that was pictured, and that that basically the restaurant manager was selling the stuff out from under them while the auction was going on type deal. And no, you can't take that. That was already sold. No, you can't take that. Was already sold. And that Red Lobster themselves allegedly, corporate sent over a truck to pull a bunch of stuff out of there. So now they're trying to, they brought 3 trucks over and they were only able to get stuff in 2 of them. And so they're fighting with the auction company. Wow. The auction company goes, there were some issues. Yeah. So don't know if that was true.
Crazy.
There you go. Nice. So what's going on with you and a repricer, Mr. Magazine?
Not too much. So, what is the company again? I forgot. I have it.
Yeah, they changed their name.
So the bad news is I did it. You have to do a trial.
Okay.
And there's no one to talk to directly.
Okay.
So I can email, and the chat takes a bunch of time. But once I got involved in the chat, they started emailing me back, and you get a 14-day trial. So I let the weekend go by. I was busy. I just don't want to make these choices myself. It's not as cut and dry as that old App Eagle repricer where it's right here. You can put all the information in. You got to go through these steps. So you can schedule a Zoom or something like that. Well, the next date was 2 weeks from now.
Oh.
So, and I didn't give him any credit card, but in a few days, I'm going to email him tomorrow, but in a few days, my trials will expire. I did try and go through it again because it tells you these steps, and then they'll give you a green check and move on to the next one. But I just didn't feel comfortable with this. I'm going to email him tomorrow and say, hey, do I get an extension on this? Because I'm not going to pay for the repricer in 4 days until I get this Zoom.
Right.
Either speed up the Zoom, answer my emails, because basically I either want them. I did tell them what I wanted, specifically how I did it with App Eagle years ago. Penny under in condition, whatever, the top price, bottom price, whatever. And if they either can do that for me in my account or over the phone or something where it's easy and I just
this is all for Amazon.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I linked to Amazon and all that, but it's right now it's disabled,
Right.
So, but hopefully we'll have an answer next week. I am going to contact them and speed up the process. So.
This I thought was funny. Mr. Magazine had me buy paperback bags for him that you needed.
Why is that funny?
That's not the funny part.
Oh.
They said you might like, and they put a random paperback up after I bought those for your account that you might like. And the funny thing about it was you had me buy the thin paperback bags.
Yeah.
It was listed as a paperback, but it was a wide soft cover, so it wouldn't even fit in the bag. I started laughing. I go, no, he probably wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
The drink tonight was Johnny Walker Red. But it's better than Flippin' Rouge.
Speaking of Johnny, John Mull's in the house. How you doing?
People running Red Lobster, the same ones running storage auctions and eBay, apparently.
Yeah.
With that black shirt and the white T-shirt collar, I thought it was cosplaying a priest. Well, yeah, after this,
that's funny.
After this, I've got a race to run, see if I can't make it from New York City to California in under 36 hours. Nice. But Flippin' Rue has actually offered her own item via the algorithm. You might be interested in it. It was her own item.
Oh, my goodness.
Gotta love that.
That's great.
Do you remember the name Belle Delphine?
It does ring a bell.
Belle Delphine. In 2019, she sold her bathwater for $90,000. That's why
to one person?
No. She bottled her bathwater and sold it to people.
Okay.
$90,000 for bathwater. Mr. Magazine has 3 in his collection.
Well, I remember the one girl you were telling me did her farts.
There is that too.
Yeah.
Well, PayPal froze her account in 2019. They just released it.
Wow.
Yep. So she finally got it released.
When was mine frozen? When did eBay get rid of adult stuff? 3-4 years ago.
Yeah,
It's around there. Yeah, mine's still frozen. My original account. Yeah.
They're pulling out their investments. That's why Red Lobster is going belly up. There you go. There you go. So yeah, so it took 5 years for her to get her $90,000 back.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, there's no bank in the world like that would do that. That's crazy how they get away with it.
Did you see the Babe Ruth called shot jersey is up for auction?
Ooh, that's millions. I mean,
$30 million they expected to go for.
Well, I mean, if there's a Wemby rookie 1 of 1, there's 1,000 1 of 1s, and that's $1.5 million. I would think Babe Ruth deserves more than $30 million for that one.
Are you going to buy it and wear it on the show sometime in the future?
Well, that's a cool. Whoever has that kind of money should really do that. Just like what was David Wells? He bought Babe Ruth's hat and he pitched in it. Yeah, that was awesome.
This I found absolutely amazing. I just found this out today. Marvel and DC jointly own a trademark on the term superhero. You cannot you cannot put out a comic book and say it's a superhero comic because they own the trademark on the term superhero.
The word superhero.
Yep.
Now, is it with O or OE? Because isn't some heroes that you can do OE?
I'm sure they probably would argue that they own that as well.
That's ridiculous.
So some comic book publisher in England is actually suing them to try to get that trademark invalidated, saying it's a genre. Superhero is a genre, not something trademarkable. And Mr. Magazine, if he's not buying the Babe Ruth called shot jersey, is buying the hand-painted 1 of 2 prototype rocket-firing Boba Fett from Heritage.
Is this a carded one or the out of the package one?
Oh, it's 1 of 2 because it's one of the prototypes.
Yeah, I know, but they had actually one. Someone that worked there had one carded. Years ago, and that was $250,000 years ago. But I don't know if it's the only 1 of 1. But
yeah, I don't think this is carded. So
still got to be $500,000.
So Mr. Magazine will be, well, it's up for auction, so it's whatever you pay for it. So Mr. Magazine will be bringing that here and shooting me in the eye with it while we're into Babe Ruth.
They have a reproduction that looks identical.
Oh, thank you, Mike. It's a little daring there, but thank you. Do appreciate it. Remember a few weeks ago, I mentioned the Lionel Messi napkin that had the Barcelona move written on it and all that. It sold for $965,000 at auction. So that's a pretty expensive napkin. Hopefully they didn't buy it and leave it sitting and then the kid wipes his face with it.
Why is it $1 million?
Because it had the writing on there like, hey, Messi comes to our team. Here's what we'll give him. So it's like the original.
The contract or something. Okay.
Yeah, it was like the first prototype. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Down 125. Impressive. Yeah. I don't know how long it took, but it's getting harder for me now. I want to get to that 100 mark, but my problem is I'm eating a little more on the weekends, having a cheat day. Not really cheating, but eating a little more, even if it's good food, eating a little later than I normally do, messes up my system. I end up gaining a couple pounds over the weekend, and I got to knock it off Monday and Tuesday again.
You could just cut off one leg.
I could do that, but then how are you going to walk?
You want to lose the weight or you want to walk? He will call it. There you go. That is true.
That is awesome.
So I saw interview over on Sports Card Radio with the guy that runs Burbank Cards. Do you know how many cards Burbank Cards sells a day?
God,
5,000.
Okay, I was going to say 10,000. Okay.
5,000 cards a day.
And what's the average price? Has got to be
they got $10. A lot of cheap stuff.
Yeah, but even if it's $10, I mean,
well, they do sell a lot of $2, $3 cards too, but still, 5,000 cards a day. That's a lot of processing. Yeah. And then you may want to think, if you're not buying the colored shot jersey and you're not buying the Boba Fett, there is a Bored Ape Trader NFT. He bought 1% of them in January, and right now he is down $2 million. So I think it's time to double down. Time to double down.
Good for him.
They're wondering how low Bored Ape NFTs can go, Mr. Magazine.
Who would want it at $10? I mean, really? I mean, who would want this thing?
Wow.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
Wow.
I don't know what I'm doing, apparently.
Apparently not.
But Dawn knows what she's doing when she says hit the like button.
That she does. So if you're into Bored Ape Trader NFTs, we have not hit the bottom yet, but you're never going to time the bottom. So buy on the way down and just wait for it to plummet out. So Mr. Magazine has a $10 offer right now on any Bored Ape NFT. If anyone wants to sell, they should probably take you up on that.
And I can't even tear it in front of them.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, you can't do anything. I can't destroy it.
You can delete it, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Right.
We're going to have an interview in a couple of weeks with Franklin Hill Ventures. He's a lot of fun, great guy, a lot of great stuff he sells. So look forward to that. And we're putting the finishing touches on the membership over on YouTube. We're going to have 20 or so videos when we do open it up. We're going to do it after Memorial Day. We want to give you guys good value. So definitely do look forward to that as well. Hopefully a lot of you will join us on that reselling journey over there. A lot more deep dive videos is what we're going to have over there.
Cool.
And now we're going to kind of come up to the main topic today. When and why to change your reselling niche. Take it away. Niche, if you're west of Mississippi, take it away, Mr. Magazine.
I just look now, so I'm going to wing this one. Well, when is when opportunity strikes or
Good answer.
eBay stinks.
Good answer.
Yeah, but obviously you want to get into something that you obviously can buy regularly and make money on regularly. So you don't want to, I'm going to go with the same things. You don't want
or enough that you never have to source again. Like Popeye's postcard bought the million postcards.
Right, yeah.
You have a million postcards and you want to let them out one at a time.
Right. Yeah. If
Good luck to you.
Someone ends up in some like monster truck 18-wheeler with
postcards,
10,000 anvils. Sure, I would hate that, but that's enough anvils to last, 5 or 10 years.
Right.
But again, accordions or something like that. I mean, you probably don't want to get into them, but if an opportunity comes where someone has 500 accordions, or like I bought the decanters, which ended up not being, I didn't pay a lot for the decanters, like 500 of them, but I still have 500 decanters floating around because you can't sell them on eBay because they have the liquor in them. It's a whole process. But again, if sales are crappy and you're looking for some change and you have something that you can think of doing, there's people out there on Instagram. I see a guy that's trying to teach how to make money in sports cards, quick flipping. You buy the card, you get it graded, you hope to get a 9 or 10, and you make money. $500 a month investment gets you 10 times your money. So, I mean, there's things out there you can get into if you really want to. You just got to look around and see what you can sell and what you'd like to sell.
Well, and that's Sports Card Radio was talking that they do a lot of things where they buy and they store it in eBay vault and buy and sell right from the eBay vault or buy and sell right from the golden vault.
Mm-hmm.
Same type deal. And the one was saying, they make good money buying, a $12 card and flipping it for $21.
Yeah.
That kind of deal that you do that often enough and you can make some money. You're not going to get rich,
right?
But you're going to do okay.
Yep.
Started again, Don. Whole row of stuff under the player has disappeared. Nope, there you go. So yeah, I mean, there's a saying out there that you don't change horses midstream, but the reason why I wanted to bring this up is you have pretty much done a transition away from a niche recently.
We're talking about eBay, like getting away from eBay
magazines.
Yeah,
just even in general,
right.
Just generic non-adult magazines. Right. You've transitioned not completely away from, but considerably away from. Why?
Well, I think I have so much inventory as it is now. We probably still have, and this is probably low, 100,000 non-adult magazines between the shop, the warehouse,
listed or unlisted.
Unlisted.
Okay.
And and we need to make room. But again, when people come in to sell them to me now, I either don't want them or if it's something better, something more unique, 50s and 60s rare stuff or fashion, something higher end.
You're buying 1930s.
I don't want to buy the common stuff because let's face it, it's not selling on eBay for me. What I have now. What we're trying to do is put as much on Amazon because they do sell on Amazon a lot slower than eBay, but for more money. But again, like someone comes to the Sports Illustrateds now, I only buy them if there's no mailing labels.
Okay.
I'll buy older time, but I'm not going to buy newer time. I'll buy older people, but not newer people because certain things will get on because I know they sell regularly, especially on Amazon. But again, eBay is just, if I have a magazine that I used to get $15 for it, and now I'm asking $13 and the sale puts it at $10, they're offering $3 or $4.
Oh.
So what's the point of buying that type of stuff at this point?
Right. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. But you would be surprised the catalog of magazines Amazon has. There's lots of things we're listing now that we had years ago that wasn't on there, and they are on there now to list. So it's very beneficial. The problem is my lister has that program where he can list 200-300 magazines a day on Amazon. So we're running out of room so fast right now for the non-adult magazine area. We have to keep putting up shelving, pushing stuff back and around so now we got him saying, hey, 1 or 2 or 3 days a week, you're going to list eBay magazines that we think we can get $10 to $15 for.
Right.
So it slows down because eBay is a lot slower to list than he would that Amazon program. So, we're trying to work it out. But, again, we got a couple more listers. We're putting more on eBay. So hopefully that'll spruce up our eBay sales. I don't know. We will see.
Wow. Well, and one of the things was when I went out to Springfield, I would I'll buy older people. Soy and green is people. Oh, spoiler alert. How to Serve Man. It's a cookbook. There was almost no magazines. I probably bought, if I bought 20 magazines, that would be a lot. They just weren't out there.
Yeah.
And luckily I'm in a wide enough niche of paper, but imagine if I just were doing magazines and I went out there. Well, I better find a different niche while I'm out there. Sure. Or, it's 430 some miles. So I drove 860 miles, got two nights at a hotel for 20 magazines. They better darn well be 1920s Vogue. Yeah. Otherwise, I completely wasted the trip. And again, we always talk about don't buy things just because you're at somewhere. Yeah. But obviously, a trip like that, when I do paper,
sure,
I'm going to buy something. Yeah. Just going to fall into something or other.
Yeah. Well, real quickly, there's a lady I've been buying magazines from for years, and she probably goes around dentist office, this office, that, and I think she just takes the newer magazines that they have, and she'll bring in like 50 or 100 of them. And I used to give her like 50 cents a piece. I would split it up. Some aren't worth anything. I give her 50 cents for the ones that have celebrity covers or car cover, whatever. It's all newer stuff in the last few months. Now I'm giving her a quarter. I mean, she's still selling them to me. So, but like I said, I'm either buying, and I know I've sold them because there's certain ones that, Lil Kim's on the cover, or someone that's trending, and then
our girl Cardi B.
Exactly. And they will sell. I'll sell one and get my money back. But now I really don't want them. I really don't need them. But hey, for $10, we can sell one, throw the rest out, whatever. Not that I do that, but
right. But in theory, yeah.
Only if and really we haven't even sold them really. Maybe in auctions, when I hit auctions, a guy auctioned some inventory for me, but I don't pull them out of magazines. I may have bought some that are bagged and boarded, but then we'll give them to an auction house to sell for, a local auction house to sell for.
Or I sell them occasionally for you and whatnot.
Exactly. Yep.
Mags hint was only 760 miles.
Oh, wow, not bad.
And it also rained you out, Mike. You told me that. Don't try selling me on going now. You told me it rained you out. But like books are one thing that I have gone into and out of that niche probably 20 times throughout time. And again, you got to buy what's out there. And because of my way of sourcing, it's a little bit different because, state sales are always going to have books. They're not generally going to have that much magazines and other paper. Every once in a while you hit a good one, but not generally.
Right. Sure.
Whereas flea markets are going to potentially have magazines and paper. So I've gone in and out of niches here and there as well. But again, there are times you got to pull a plug. And I think you're not necessarily pulling the plug on eBay, but definitely being, as far as magazines go, but you're definitely being a lot more careful about what you're buying and when.
I'm saving some money. But then again, the magazines we want, the fashion ones, you want the old, foreign ones, or turn of the century. They're not a dime a dozen. So it's hard to even create that as a niche now because you're not going to get a lot of it. Like we said, it's drying up.
Well, and the other thing too is, and I think that the story Popeyes told last week, was he kind of got into postcards because he kind of fell into them. He was doing pottery, although Popeye's pottery does work as well. Sure, so just as long as you get the PP, that's all that matters there.
Go back to that. Yeah.
But again, he fell into it because he bought some postcards and liked them. So don't necessarily feel trapped by what it is that you're selling. Well, I've always sold this. If the markets change and you have an opportunity somewhere else, and for whatever reason you don't enjoy it, especially if you're fairly new at what you're selling, change if you need to, or branch out into something else. And the perfect example that I always use is the original art. I don't know anything whatsoever about original art a couple of years ago. Now I'm actually making money on it. And I'm actually picking it off from time to time out at flea markets and that kind of stuff as well. And again, it took 2 years to become profitable on that.
Right.
So you're probably not going to just fall into a brand new niche and be making money on it. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you don't start planning now. So if you're in something that you don't like, or you want to expand your business, or long-term, you're saying this just isn't for me for whatever reason. I'm selling neon lights and it just takes too long. I'm doing well on them, but
Yeah.
or I'm selling anvils, but the anvils that they actually used to use in the blacksmith, and I'm getting to be 80 years old. I can't lift these
Right.
darn things anymore.
Yeah.
I gotta find something else to do.
Yeah.
Like that antique dealer earlier there that they mentioned in the feed that's going to be learning Etsy and eBay at 81 years old.
Sure.
God bless
Yeah,
him.
it's
Wish him the
awesome,
best of luck. That is very awesome.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily changing niches, but he's changing his platforms at this age.
Sure.
And he might change niches as well, because what sells at a brick and mortar may not be what sells online
Exactly.
as well. So he may have always sold print ads through his store, but that these don't sell well online. So he sells something else online.
Right. Yeah.
So don't be afraid to change your niche. See the writing on the wall, and change it. Cassette tapes are coming back. So there you go. And they're easy to store. Let's see what people are saying, and we'll have you give the rambling story here.
Boredom is another valid reason for a niche. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. You've listened to certain things be a chore. Yes, absolutely. 100%. I listed a bunch of 40s ads, sold a couple. Tough sledding here. Yeah. Yeah. Print ads, it's a numbers game. Yep.
All right. Don's right. Everyone agrees Don is correct.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Don today. I was right too, Mike. Now we're into the rambling story of the week.
All right, so I'm getting dry in these rambling stories, but this just happened yesterday. Everyone remembers at least 2 weeks ago, I was lightheaded. I was in the hot tub and I hit the deck. My face was all messed up. So ever since then, Mrs. Magazine, who is a nurse, has been concerned for me, thinking between my diet and exercise and, that happening to me, that something's not right with me. I did go to the doctor.
I concur.
I had blood work done. My doctor wouldn't give me an EKG, which was weird because I had one a year ago when I was 90 pounds heavier. She said it's going to be better now that my heart's better and I'm exercising, whatever. Anyways, but I do little things now that concerns my wife, and she wants to immediately take me to the hospital or something. So,
pull the plug.
I'm in the car doing this. Oh, you got chest pains. She gets all nervous, which I'm glad she's concerned. However, last night we went to a high school lacrosse game, and she used to be a cheerleader, and I think Paperboy could agree that she's very vocal. She can get her voice out there. It's pretty loud. You can hear her from the stands, the parking lot, whatever. And she's cheering for our old alma mater.
That's when the stadium, and that's when you're sitting in Rochester and your team is an away game.
Exactly right. But we're cheering for our old school. She was right next to me, screaming. It was a close playoff game, whatever. Screaming. I actually got lightheaded and dizzy. And she does not believe that it's from her screaming. But that's what happened. It happened immediately after she gets up screaming. So then she starts cramming food down my mouth and water. You got to have the pretzels. You got to have the nuts and this and that. And it was just crazy. She did not want me to collapse there in front of all her friends.
That would be embarrassing.
But she was concerned. But I just said, hey, I'm fine. Just let me, just don't scream. Go a few, steps back. And I think I'll be fine. I drank a little bit of water and I was good. But I just thought that was funny because it really, in my head, it happened at the same time she was screaming. So it had to have been, right? Can that happen? If I scream in your ear a few times.
Let's not try.
You want her to try?
Let's not try at all. No, let's not try at all.
So there it is. That's where you have it. My rambling story.
They're sort of start overpricing Lawrence well because Anna 1, Anna 2. Everybody loves Don. Well, you're right, Don. Of course. Yeah. Some magazines have been damaged over the years due to poor storage on my part. Hate to throw them out. Thought ripping them apart.
You can pull the
depends
ads
about
out.
What the title is.
If the ads inside are worthy of tearing out, sure.
But it also depends on what the title is. I mean, if it's a very good title, you'll still make the sale. So if it's a 1930s Vogue, you'll still make the sale, even in bad shape.
Correct, yeah.
But yeah, if it's a common title and you got the time, I mean, it is very time consuming to pull ads out. But if you're sitting there watching, something over on cable TV and nothing to do, and you got a razor blade or whatever, why not? Yeah. You're passing the time, and it's pretty brainless work. To tell you the truth.
What did Mike say?
Does your girlfriend feel the same way?
Actually, my girlfriend does not feel the same way. My girlfriend actually feels with her hands.
Nice. All right, everybody. Yes, to your wife and to your lover, may they never meet. Yes, of course.
Thank God she doesn't watch the show. She watches it less than I do.
That's hard to do. All right, everybody. Really fun show tonight.
Right.
Found a lot of interesting things out there. Thank you all for coming on by. Do hit the like button if you could. We got some exciting things coming up on the channel, but probably the most exciting thing of all is tomorrow's 4 p.m. book auction over on Whatnot. Definitely do check it out. I know a lot of you definitely do. Going to have haul videos coming up from Springfield and the like afterwards. Just have to have random neighborhood kid come on by and get those off the phone. And again, we will be rolling out the membership after Memorial Day. So we've got about 20 videos that will be back there. Some deep dives, a lot of really, really good stuff back there. So I think you'll really, really enjoy it. So look forward to that exciting announcement. And I want to thank everybody. Oh, well, Mike, we have to. Thank you, everybody. Hit the like button, and we will see you next show.
Take care. Bye-bye.